Welcome to this lesson where I'm going to show you how to play the bass line from Life on Mars by David Bowie. Now at the moment I'm featuring female bass players, so we're going to look at the version by Gail Ann Dorsey. If you don't know who Gail Ann Dorsey is, then definitely check out her stuff. She's a really funky bass player. She played with David Bowie for about 20 years, from 1995 right up to his death. Gail is a really striking person. She wears long, colourful dresses at lots of her live gigs, and she often shares the limelight deservedly at live gigs. Gail Ann Dorsey played for Tears for Fears, Brian Ferry, Lenny Kravitz and many other artists and bands. I picked Gail for my iconic female bass players series that I'm doing at the moment because she was out there doing it in the 80s. Now at that time you didn't see that many female rhythm section players, especially not in the limelight. Now I know that she's inspired lots and lots of female bass players since then. Gail also has her own solo projects. Check this little clip out of her accompanying herself on the bass when she's singing.
Said you're welcome. Stop on by. You know I'll be there, baby, to dry your eyes. Gonna get tired.
This is another tune. This is from one of Gail's solo albums. It's called Magical and it's got a really funky bass line. So this leads on to the bass line that we're going to look at in today's lesson. This is Gail's own version of Life on Mars. It was recorded live in 2022, so quite recently. Before we watch that, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can do that by clicking the red subscribe button in the corner.
To the seat with the clearest view, and she's hooked to the silver screen, but the film is a saddening bore, 'cause she's lived it 10 times or more. She could spit in the eyes of fools as they ask her to focus on sailors fighting in the dance hall. Oh man, look at those cavemen go.
The bass line is relatively simple to play, so it's a great one if you're kind of getting into bass and you want an easy bass line. But what Gail brings to the table is pocket and groove. So when you're playing these kind of longer notes, they can be a little bit more tricky sometimes to actually really nail them and play them precisely. So that's something that you can work on while you're playing this bass line, trying to lock in with the drummer and lock in with the rest of the band. The original David Bowie version is a half step or a semitone higher than Gail's version. I've also done a full transcription of Gail's bass line. You can get that in standard notation and tab by clicking the link below this video in the description. Just fill out the form there, join my mailing list and I'll send you a free copy of the booklet. The chords of Life on Mars move quite quickly, so I'm not going to show you the whole chord progression now, but it's all on the PDF. But there are lots of slash chords in the progression. So slash chords look like this. So we've got A over E in this case. The top letter tells you the chord, so it's an A chord, and the bottom letter tells you the bass note. So in this case, the bass note is E. So as the bass player, you just look at the second letter and play that. Now if you check out the video of Gail playing, she's also singing as well, so it just adds another dimension. So she's kind of playing a lot down this end of the neck, so when you've got Ds and As, you've got a choice really. You can play them open, so the D string and the A string, or you can fret them, so it's entirely up to you. There's kind of a few ways to play this bass line, a few positions, none of them really better than the other. So I've written one down on the tab, but play in the position that suits you best. Bass isn't in on verse 1, it comes in on the pre-chorus. So we're coming on a D, so we've got D, D sharp, E, F. Okay, so we're just going up chromatically there, those 4 strings there. And once we're on the F, we kind of slide down to the C. Okay, we hold the F, slide down to the C. Okay, it's at 61 beats per minute, so it's very slow. So you kind of counting like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and then you've got C, G sharp, A sharp. Okay, so it's a very, what we call a chromatic bass line, which means we've got notes, frets next to each other. It's quite a kind of sort of stepping bass line. So we've got here, down there, and then here. Okay, so get ready on D. So I suggest fretting the D on the A string with your first finger, because we're going to play these 4 notes here. You can kind of play them here if you want. And you'd only be able to do a little slide there down to the C. So let's start here. So after 4, 3, 4, D, D sharp, E, F, slide down, C, G sharp, A sharp. Okay, so you can kind of keep in position here, slide down, and then you can keep in position here. Okay, sort of one finger per fret. Okay, like that. Okay, so that's the pre-chorus. We've now got the chorus. So this is the way I play it. Okay, so we've got sort of A, E, D, E. I'll explain that in a minute, but you can do the kind of open A if you want. E, open D, E, F sharp, F. If there's longer notes, I don't generally use open strings, but it's entirely up to you. Okay, so we'll just do A, E, D, E, F sharp, F. Okay, so you're playing 8th notes. So it's 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Okay, so those the 2nd and the 4th note are on the ands. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Try that with me. 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is kind of the most tricky part of the bass line, really. That's that bar there. Okay, so you've got E, 2, and really you've got 16th notes there, so it's after the and. 1, 2, and. Okay, so 1, 2, and, or 1 and 2 and. Okay, so you've got E, B, E, and then E, D sharp, D, C sharp. Okay, that would kind of be here. Those notes next to each other, but it's probably easier here. Okay. Right, so try that bar. So we're doing E, 2, and. Okay, try it with me. 3, 4. Do it a little bit slower. 3, 4. 1, 2, and. Okay, and then there. Okay, that's A on the next line. So do B, C sharp, D, E. Okay, 1, 2, and. Okay, so they start on the ands again. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and back to A. Okay, try it with me. So on B, B, C sharp, D, E, 3, 4. And then down to A. So what I'll do is I'll play that first line, so it's the first 4 bars. Join with me if you want to. So you're starting on the A. 3, 4. Okay, and then you repeat the same thing again. The first 3 bars anyway, and the last bar, just hold the D and don't do the E. Okay, so that's the second line of the chorus, and then the third line we've just got these F sharp, do, F, do, E, do, D sharp. Okay, so these slash notes enable the bass line to just move down in step like that. That's how you get this kind of movement. If you see this movement a lot, then you know that there are going to be some slash chords because the bass isn't playing the actual root note of the chord. It's playing, like in these cases, the fifth. The fifth in both cases, the A over E and the B over D sharp. Okay, so you get this nice kind of step down. Okay, so that's the chorus. Then we have a bridge. Now it sounds to me like Gail's playing this low E here. Okay, so we've got an open E and then F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, A, and then A just for half a bar there. Try it for me. 3, 4, E, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, A. Okay, so again, just when you're playing these long notes, think about locking in with the drums. It's quite hard to play with a video because you just don't quite know what the movements they're going to do. If you're live, it's a lot easier. You can look at people for kind of cues and look at what the drummer's doing. So sometimes you just can't, especially when you've got pauses and kind of breaks at the end of sections, it's quite hard to place it. Sometimes you just can't really do that. But just try your hardest when you're within the bass line to lock in with the kick drum or with the guitar or whatever you can kind of hear. Then we've got verse 2. So remember, we didn't play on verse 1, but we play on verse 2. We've got more kind of chromatic notes. Start on the E. That's D sharp, D, C sharp. Okay, so stepping down again with some slash chords in there. So E, D sharp, D, C sharp, leading up to F sharp, C sharp, E, F sharp, E, and then we've got this here. Okay, it's really nice there. Kind of really stands out. It's quite classy, that bit. Just a simple hammer on though. Okay, so E, you play E, F sharp, but you don't pluck the F sharp. So that's why it's called a hammer on. You hammer on with that finger. So from that beginning of that bar, the F sharp, E. So from the beginning of that bar, from the F sharp, 1, 2, 3, and. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then B. Okay, so that's just root, fifth, octave. Okay, and that second line of the verse 2 is identical to the first line. Okay, so you just need to learn 4 bars and you've done the verse. Okay, so I'll play the whole thing. Join in if you want to. So from the E, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, do, do, do. Okay, and you kind of slide up and start again, start those 4 bars again. So that's the verse. So we actually only play the verse once. If you're enjoying this video, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can do that by clicking the red subscribe button in the corner of the screen. And if you click the notification bell, you can choose to receive all the notifications when my new videos come out. So click that and you won't miss any of my new lessons. After verse 2, we've got the pre-chorus again and the chorus. These are the same as before, so you don't have to relearn those. So the bass line, kind of the sections stay the same really, which makes it a bit easier. But then we've got the ending. Okay, so the ending, we've got chromatic notes first of all. E, F, F sharp, E, and then bass stays on E. The chord changes, but bass stays on E. Okay, so you'll hear the guitar change, but it's a kind of called a pedal note here when the bass stays the same. And then down to D for a half bar, and then we've got this run here. Okay, I think that's a little bit different than the original. I can't really remember, but this is the Gail version. So so the way I'd play it is you can use an open A if you want, or it's just a matter of learning those notes. And then there's a double stop, that's called. You play two notes at once. C sharp and A. So you just pluck them at the same time, okay? And then she's kind of doing that kind of thing afterwards. So I'll just play that run again. Or with the open A. And you can choose the open D as well. Okay? But it doesn't really matter what fingering you want to use, so just try that with me. We'll play a little bit slow and I'll give you 3/4 in. 3, 4. So once you're on the B there, you're gonna have to slide, get the fingers ready. Sometimes it's just a matter of a kind of coordination issue when you first try and do that. He could do it 3 and 4, but I find that really tricky, so I slide. Okay, so you can just practice that. B with your third finger and then jump in. Okay, and then the whole run. Really nice ending there. Okay, well that's the whole bass line. I hope you enjoyed kind of learning about Gail Ann Dorsey if you didn't know about her before, and I hope you enjoyed this version as well. I love the original, but this is also a really kind of heartfelt version, and especially as Gail played with David Bowie for 20 years plus. I think it's 21 years in total. Don't forget to grab the free PDF that's got the whole bass line on it. And remember, if you want to play with the original David Bowie version, then just play everything a fret up, or tune your bass one step up. But this version will work perfectly with the with Gail's version, which I've put a link to below this video in the description as well. Leave me a comment, let me know what you thought. If you do know Gail's bass lines, have you got any other favourites? Just let me know. Or any other female bass players that you'd like to see featured in this this kind of series. But yeah, just how did you get on with the lesson? Just let me know. I love reading everyone's comments there. And don't forget to like this video. That really helps me out. And it also helps me if you share the link. You can grab the link from share underneath the video, post it anywhere you want, post it on your socials, Facebook groups, just anyone you think might want to learn this bass line. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, importantly, as well. You can do that by clicking the red subscribe button. And you might want to head over to my website, gbshed.com. I've got bass courses there, merch, got these t-shirts, books, loads more bass resources. And if you want to kind of get in touch and you need help with your bass playing, I can provide different services for that. I can point you in the right direction with some of my courses. So just get in touch with me with the contact details on the website. So that's gbshed.com. If you felt that you got value out of the lesson, you can always buy me a coffee. The details are at the bottom of the screen here. They're $5 and they help keep all these videos and PDFs free for everyone. There are also clickable links in the description. And there are loads of other links in there, so go and have a look below this video in the description. This is Greg from Greg's Bass Shed. Hope to see you very soon in the next video.